that blade works.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Silver Fang, and today I'm gonna be reviewing the last set of episodes of Fate Unlimited Playworks. This is gonna be from episode 18 all the way to episode, I believe, 24. Last time I did, we ended up with Shiro meeting Archer to fight it out. That's the beginning of episode 18, I believe, and the first thing we see in episode 18, which it went into greater detail about Archer's past and his true identity, which was insane. And I apologize beforehand if I seem a little groggy today. I'm pretty much running on no sleep, but I'll try to do my best to reenact the emotion I felt when I found out who Archer was. So I've said in my previous reviews that Archer thinks of himself as no. Let me rephrase that. That Shiro is who Archer used to be. And I said in the past that I feel like Archer is a fully matured Shiro. What I didn't know was actually how right that statement was, because it turns out that Archer really is the future Shiro, which was crazy. I mean, I started to piece it together back in episode, I don't know, I think it was either 16 or 17 where Tosaka mentioned the crystal, but I wasn't sure how that would have worked, because I didn't know they could summon heroic spirits from the future. So I kind of discarded that possibility. But as soon as they mentioned the fact that pretty much heroic spirits have no time and they could either be from the past or future, I immediately was like, okay, then this is Shiro. This has to be Shiro. So yes, Archer is Shiro. Mind blowing. That's crazy. I can't say that I was not expecting it, because I knew there was something there. I just didn't know it was that Archer is actually Shiro, because Archer was like, he really didn't like Shiro's ideals at all. And I figured, like, why is he so obsessed with Shiro? Like, because I would say, like, I would understand that you don't agree with someone else's morals or ideals, but why would you be so obsessed about it? And it turns out that he's actually trying to prevent Shiro from becoming him, because he doesn't like the person that he became. So he's trying to prevent him from ever being created. But as Saber says, heroic spirits actually don't exist in the realm of time. So it doesn't matter if Shiro does or doesn't become him, he will still exist. So I don't know if that's accurate, but is logical. I mean, if he can be summoned from the future, then I don't think that Shiro not becoming him is gonna change that. So, or maybe what, the time travel is a little complicated. But the thing is, like, he's not actually doing time travel. He's, how can I say this? Yes, he is from a time in the future, but that's separate. As soon as they become like a heroic spirit, from like the way they explain it, as soon as they become a heroic spirit, then you basically cease to be that person, and now you're just a heroic spirit. Like, it doesn't matter whether Shiro becomes him or not, he's already a spirit, so that won't change anything. But he wanted to try it anyways, and basically the fight between Shiro and Archer was not about strength. It was not about who could have beaten who, because even with his mana depleted, Archer could have definitely easily defeated Shiro. I'm pretty sure that he was holding back most of the time. So it's not just that. It wasn't about strength. It was about who was gonna accept who. Was Shiro gonna give in and abandon his ideals, or was Archer gonna accept Shiro for who he is and stop regretting who he became? That was definitely a good fight. I definitely enjoyed it just because there was a lot of dialogue. There wasn't really that much action when you compare it to the other fights. But again, Archer is my favorite servant. I think Archer is my favorite character of Fate. Yeah, definitely. Archer is definitely my favorite character from Fate, and I was really dying to find out more about him. So I really found this really entertaining. So at the end of the fight, Archer pretty much let Shiro win. He let Shiro stab them, and Shiro won. But that pretty much says that Archer accepted Shiro's ideals. And on the other hand, on the I don't remember where they were keeping Tosuka, but Shinji was keeping Tosuka prisoner, and then CAREE shows up, and I knew CAREE was alive. There was no way that he was dead. Like, Lancer didn't even help, and that was pretty much confirmed when Lancer showed up to make the alliance with Shiro, because there's no way that I don't think Lancer can do the same as Archer, where he can last for a couple days without a master. So that was pretty much confirmed. But yeah, CAREE's alive. He shows up. He talks to Tosuka. He pretty much tells her that in the last Great War, he killed her father and all that. And Lancer, like, he felt that Lancer actually cared for Tosuka way too much, and he was going against his orders. So he uses a command seal to kill Lancer, which was insane. I was not expecting that. I thought he was gonna use a command seal to have Lancer kill Tosuka, but instead he had a command seal to have Lancer kill himself, which was really unexpected. So Lancer he takes his spear, runs it through, but he doesn't die. And I don't know, because I was reading yesterday, about Hercules stats, and apparently Hercules has an ability called Continue to Fight. Oh, that I actually want to address that, because on the last review I actually said that I thought Hercules had died for a 13th time, which wasn't the case. One of my subscriber actually sent me stats of the servants, and I read Hercules, and apparently he has this ability called Continue Fighting, I think it's called. I think the ability is called. So pretty much allows him to fight at full strength until he's 100% dead. So even if he's wounded, even if any injury that he has, it doesn't matter. He can pretty much continue to fight until he's all the way dead. So that was pretty interesting, but I don't think Lancer has the same thing. So I was really surprised, because what I thought was he ran the spear through his heart, but turns out he was actually still alive. He gets up, kills Kotomine, and then proceeds to scare Shinji and rescue Tosuka, and then dies. So that was a little bit strange, because, well, I guess that if CAREE would have said in his command, kill yourself immediately, maybe that, because he did die and he did follow the orders, but he didn't die right away. So maybe CAREE should have been a little bit more specific with his words. So yeah, CAREE is dead. Another thing that I wasn't expecting. I thought CAREE was gonna make it all the way to the end. To be honest, I thought the last opponents were gonna be CAREE and Gilgamesh. So that was a little weird. After that, we have after the fight with Shiro and Archer, Tosaka actually shows up. But you know who else shows up? Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh shows up and pretty much kills Archer. Like, that was really unexpected too. Like, I thought Archer was at the end of the fight was gonna form a pact with Shiro. I think I said that in my last review, but he didn't. He actually Gilgamesh kills him, or so I thought. And pretty much Archer leaves everything up to Shiro. And yeah, that was pretty much that for Archer. We saw like a little bit of his clothes actually disappear, and I might get into that a little later because I kind of have a theory about that, but I'm not actually sure. So after that whole scene, Gilgamesh tells Tosaka, Shiro, and Saber that they will meet later, and pretty much he proceeds to leave, and he meets up with Shinji. And another surprising thing, oh my god, so he uses Ilia's heart and embeds it in Shinji, so he can use Shinji as the vessel for the oh my god, for the Holy Grail, which was another thing that was surprising. Like I'm telling you, this was a great set of episodes. This was an awesome set of episodes. I was not expecting that. It was like one unexpected thing after the other. So I was not expecting that. Another thing that happened after that, another interesting thing that happened, was Saber and the rest of the crew were coming up with a plan in order for them to defeat Gilgamesh, right? In order for them to defeat Gilgamesh. And basically what they come up with is that at the end, that Shiro's gonna face Gilgamesh, but he needs to be able to create the reality marble that Archer used to make. And the only way that he could do that was by having enough mana. And the only way that they could figure out how to do that without Shiro training was for Tosaka to transfer her magic crest to Shiro, so she will supply the mana that he was lacking. So that was another interesting thing. So this was a really awkward moment for Tosaka, and it was really like, it kind of showed why Tosaka was so worried about Shiro in episode 1. So pretty much they need to strip down because they needed to transfer their body heat in order for Tosaka to transfer her crest. So that was a little weird, but okay. So they do that, and in the process of doing that, she was able to see like Tosaka's like buried memories, like her oldest memories. And Tosaka, we can tell from one of her memories that Tosaka was watching Shiro when he was a kid. So that pretty much tells us that she was interested in Shiro when she was a kid. So that's why when he died, when Lancer tried to kill him in the first episode, she was so worried about him, and she actually says something along the lines of, why did it have to be you? Why are you here right now? Why you? and that was a little bit confusing because to me, I would say like, well, it could have been any student, honestly, but she was really worried for Shiro, and now we know why. Now we know why, because she has been interested in Shiro all the way since he was a kid. So that was really nice, and I like the way this story went with the whole romance. Um, for some, I'm not sure exactly in what moment it happened, but the romance started to switch, because remember in the last day night, the original one, Shiro fell in love with Saber, but I will have to rewatch both because I'm not sure in what moment did it occur where Shiro, instead of falling in love with Saber, started to fall in love with Tosaka. So I actually, and honestly, I don't know, I may piss some people off, but I do prefer Shiro and Tosaka instead of Shiro and Saber. I do prefer that, to be honest. Um, so that was really nice. So finally they transfer the crest. They go to meet Gilgamesh, and they come up with the plan that Saber is gonna keep Gilgamesh busy while Tosaka and Shiro destroy the Holy Grail. But or not destroy the Holy Grail, rescue Shinji so the Holy Grail won't be created. So that goes completely wrong, because again, something that I was not expecting. I need to read up on all these heroic spirits like stats, because we get to Ryudo Temple, and who's waiting there? None other than Assassin. Like 2 days or 3 days after his master Caster was killed. And the explanation that they gave for it, or at least the way I understood it, was that even though his mana was limited because he was summoned by a servant, he was able to remain there because he could only stay at the castle. Although he was almost going to disappear, he hadn't disappeared yet because he wasn't able to move from Ryudo Temple. That's the way that I interpreted that. So that was a little unexpected, but we finally get to see the final fight between Saber and Assassin. And you know what? I'm really pissed about that, because the fight that I actually wanted to see was Archer versus Assassin, and they skipped that. They completely skipped that. And I was tight when they did that. I was like, oh my god, I wanted to see that fight. I bet you that was an amazing fight. Why did they cut, like, why did they cut away from that? Like, oh my god, I definitely wanted to see that fight. Hopefully, I don't know, but what I'm begging right now is that hopefully in the set of movies that I have to watch, I actually get to see Archer fighting Assassin. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but hopefully I get to see that, because that'll be awesome. So so Saber fights Assassin, so Shiro has to fight Gilgamesh, which I think was the best case scenario, because I don't think Saber could have beaten Gilgamesh, but Shiro, on the other hand, was able to. Now, I don't think Shiro could have beaten Gilgamesh if Gilgamesh wasn't underestimating him, but again, Gilgamesh did. He got cocky, underestimated Shiro, didn't even put his armor on, and actually reacted to this fight in the past. I'm gonna leave a link to the video at the end if you want to see my reaction to that fight. So he doesn't take Shiro seriously, doesn't even put his armor on. He's pretty much sitting on the roof the whole time, all the way until I believe Shiro creates the reality marble, which I knew how this fight was gonna end, because I recognized that it was this fight that I saw before based on Gilgamesh clothes. So I knew the way this was gonna end, but I didn't know why it ended that way. And it was because Gilgamesh was pretty much underestimating Shiro the whole time. The whole time he was underestimating Shiro, and even all the way to the end. And when he finally tried to get serious, it was too late. When he tried to pull out his most powerful noble phantasm, which I keep forgetting the name of that sword, but is the, you know, the spinning sword with, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. When he's about to pull it out, Shiro cuts his arm completely off. So that's that. Too little, too late. You should have been serious from the beginning. I mean, this was the end game. If he wanted to succeed, he should have just killed Shiro right from the beginning, right from the get. He should have killed him, moved on to kill Tosaka, and that's it. Fight would have been over. But no, he underestimated Shiro. So you get what you get, man. So after the fight, the Holy Grail tries to pull in Gilgamesh as his new host, I would say, as his new host or vessel, because Tosaka had removed Shinji from the Grail. So she needed, the Grail needed a new vessel, and she tried, and it, I keep saying she, it keeps trying to take Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh throws a chain, wraps it around Shiro's arm, and tries to pull Shiro with him, or not to pull with him. He just needed something to hold on to, pretty much, and Shiro was the closest thing. And when Shiro was about to get pulled in, out of nowhere, out of freaking nowhere, out of the blue, comes in Archer with the headshot. Oh my god, brutal, man, brutal. And I don't know how this actually worked. I have a couple theories. My first theory was that when Gilgamesh killed him back in the castle, he didn't actually die. He just went into spirit form and escaped, because he already knew what was going to happen. So that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing occurred. He already knew what was going to happen, so he went into spirit form and left. Now my other theory is a little bit more out there, because when Archer explained his past or his backstory, he said that he gets summoned to the points in history where humanity needs him the most, and he's pretty much a deterrent. He's actually a guardian. Actually, that was the right term that he used. He's a guardian, and he gets summoned to the point in time where humanity needs him the most, and he becomes a deterrent and ends the threat. So I don't know if he was actually summoned to stop the Holy Grail from being formed, or if he was actually there the whole time and he just went into spirit form when Gilgamesh tried to kill them and left. So that was pretty interesting. I don't know what happened. I'm leaning more towards my first theory, which was that he went into spirit form, just because when we did get to see him again, when we got to see his full body, he was actually still hurt. So I don't think he was resummoned. So I don't know if that's the case, but I'm leaning more to my first theory, was that he just went into spirit mode and left. So after that, we stopped Gilgamesh. Sarah comes in, destroys the Holy Grail, and after that, we pretty much skip to the end. Saber disappears, obviously. What I can't believe about the ending, Shinji's still alive, man. He's still alive after everything. He's still alive. I was not expecting that. He is alive. Ilya died, CAREE died, Gilgamesh died, Hercules died, Lancer died, and Shinji's still alive. Oh my god, that was so unexpected. That was so freaking unexpected, man. I can't believe this guy actually made it all the way through. That's crazy. That's so insane. I forgot one little important part. Shinji saying bye to Archer. That was really sentimental. So they pretty much say goodbye. Archer's being his usual. He's been a little arrogant. That's how he usually treats Tosaka. So he did, and then Tosaka at the end says that she's gonna try her best so that Shiro ends up chooses a better path, and Archer says he's happy with that and for her to take care of him. And we actually get to see Archer with the Shiro style hairdo, and that was nice. And then Archer disappears. I think one of my favorite moments, definitely. And yeah, it was a nice goodbye. We skipped over 2 years in the future, and Shiro and Tozuka are in the, I think they call it the clock tower. That's where the magic council, is it? I think it's called magic council. That's where they convene, and we get this guy at the end, and he's asking Shiro about himself, and this guy was really shaky, the guy at the end. I don't know if we're gonna see more of him, but he was really shaky. I don't know about him. I think he might be an antagonist in future fates that I haven't seen yet. So I just think that guy was really shaky. It was the guy with the, I don't think they ever stated his name. It was a guy with long black hair. I don't know. I just felt like he was really shady. Um, they actually offered Shiro a post in the Magic Council, and he refused it. So basically, he just wants to travel the world now. He's gonna take Tosuka with him, and that was pretty much the end. Another cool thing was they actually visited Saber's grave in England, and Shiro actually got to say goodbye to Saber. That was also a nice touch. So I definitely like this ending a lot. I like this ending way better than the ending from the original Stay Night. Um, in the future, not in the future, well, yeah, sometime this week, I'll be doing an overall review. It's gonna be like an overall review of the series and a little bit of a comparison between the Stay Nights, what I think was good, what I think was bad, what I think was made better here, what I think was worse. So I'm definitely getting to that. But thank you guys. It's been an awesome series. I have to say, actually no, I'm gonna save that for the overall review. So thank you so much for watching, guys. That is the video. I really appreciate all the people subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please help me out to reach my goal of 100 subs. That's what I'm aiming for right now. Hopefully we can get there either between this week and next week. So please help me out, and thank you so much for watching. Tell me down in the comments below if I missed anything. Also, please like the video. That helps me out a lot. And if you can, head over to my backup channel, subscribe over there just in case anything happens to this channel. And thank you so much for watching, guys. And as I always say, please have an amazing day, and see you next time.